thought they could control it. That feeding the anger, the doubt, the disrespect would weaken me. That every slight, every whisper, every fake smile would chip away until nothing was left. But monsters aren't born from rage. They're built by betrayal, by silence, by the hands that fed them thinking they'd stay small. They didn't realize what they were creating. Every cut they made, every time they laughed behind my back, every moment they underestimated me, was fuel. I stayed quiet. I let them believe they were winning. I let them think I needed their validation to survive. But the truth was, I was absorbing it all, digesting every wound, letting it sharpen me from the inside out. They didn't starve the monster. They fed it. They kept pushing, kept taking, kept laughing, until what they built grew bigger than their control. And now it's hungry for something else. Not revenge, not validation. Fear. Because when you feed a storm long enough, you don't get to choose when it hits back. You just pray you're not standing in its path when it does. They didn't notice the shift at first. They thought I was still the same, still swallowing it, still bending, still waiting for crumbs of respect from hands that only knew how to take. But monsters don't roar when they're growing. They go silent. They listen. They endure. Until one day, they no longer fit inside the box they were forced into. And by the time they realize it, it's too late. I'm not asking for anything now. Not their approval. Not their apology. Not their explanation. I'm not here to heal the story they broke. I'm here to become the consequence they never thought would come. Every word they twisted, every smirk they flashed, every doubt they planted, it all lives inside me now. Not as hurt, but as fuel. And the monster they thought they were mocking from a distance, it's no longer behind the glass. It's in the room. It's breathing down their neck. And the worst part, it doesn't want their attention anymore. It wants their fear. Because fear is pure. Fear is honest. And when they see what they've created, they won't laugh this time. They fed me with their doubts. They fattened the storm inside me with every betrayal they thought I didn't notice. They thought I would stay weak, stay small, stay begging for space in a world they tried to shrink around me. But I grew, in the silence, in the dark, where they couldn't see, where their laughter couldn't reach, where their control meant nothing. Now, they can feel it, in the shift of the air when I walk into the room, in the way I don't lower my eyes anymore, in the way I don't explain myself anymore, in the way I don't forgive silently anymore. Because this version of me, it doesn't ask for acceptance. It doesn't seek approval. It feeds on the same fear they planted. And now, it's theirs to live with. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm not even loud. I'm inevitable. And if you're still here, still breathing through this, subscribe and turn on the bell. Because if this feels like your story, it's because you're already changing too. They just don't know it yet. They used to laugh in rooms I wasn't invited to. They used to whisper my name like it was a punchline, thinking their noise could contain what they didn't understand. But monsters don't need validation. We don't need attention. We don't need noise. We move differently. We breathe differently. We grow in spaces they abandoned, in wounds they caused, in silence they mistook for defeat. And now they feel it. Every unfinished sentence when I enter the room, every forced smile that doesn't quite reach their eyes, every nervous glance when they realize I didn't just survive. I adapted. I don't return to explain myself. I don't return to confront them. I return to exist so loudly in my silence that it suffocates their pride. They thought I was fragile. They thought I was finished. But you don't finish what you can't destroy. You don't break what's already been reforged in fire. Their fear is not my revenge. It's just a byproduct. The natural consequence of feeding something they didn't understand. I don't seek to haunt them. I am simply a mirror now. And they can't stand the reflection. They thought ignoring me would erase me. That pretending I didn't matter would make it true. But you can't erase what you've already carved into your own history. They etched me into their story the moment they fed me their fear. The moment they underestimated the quiet. The moment they laughed too soon, too loud. Now every time they close their eyes, every time they hear my name, every time they feel that pressure creeping in, they remember. Not the smiles, not the jokes, not the victories they thought they had. They remember the silence that followed, the cold, the weight, the realization that the monster they built didn't disappear. It grew teeth, it grew patience, it grew hunger. I don't need to attack. I don't need to roar. My existence is the consequence. My presence is the aftermath. And they can either face it or keep running from a version of me they helped create, but will never survive. They don't fear the noise. They fear the moment they realize there's nowhere left to hide. I don't need them to acknowledge it. I don't need an apology whispered too late. Because when you become what they feared you would, their silence is louder than any confession. I am not chasing their guilt. I am not seeking their regret. I am not here to heal their conscience. I am simply here, standing taller, moving quieter, breathing heavier, and every step I take echoes louder in the emptiness they left behind. They fed the monster because they thought it would die quietly. But monsters born from betrayal don't die. They evolve. And now, every breath I take is a reminder of the power they gave me. Not out of kindness, out of cruelty, out of negligence, out of underestimation. Let them flinch when they hear my name. Let them wonder if the footsteps behind them are just memories or consequences catching up. Because once you feed the storm, you can't outrun the flood. Now tell me, what part of you did they try to kill? And what did you turn it into? Drop it in the comments. Let them hear your survival. And if you're ready to go even deeper into your evolution, watch next. Disrespect made me dangerous.